Hey guys, I'm Jonas. Today I'm going to show you how to install this Rhox LED light kit in your Yamaha Drive 2. Today I'm going to be installing the Rhox Deluxe light kit that comes with the LED head and tail lights, plus the turn signals, brake lights, and horn. I want to go ahead and say right up front that this is not a paid promotion. We did not get this light kit sent out to us for free. I did pay for this. But if you use the affiliate links in the description down below to buy this light kit off of Amazon, I do get a small percentage of that sale. So that really goes a long way to help out our channel. So if you guys are looking to buy a light kit like this, please use our links down below. Out of the few light kits that are available for these Drive 2, in my opinion, the Rhox is by far the best looking kit. The Mad Jax kit, I really just don't care for. It's got kind of a big bug eye look to it. The lights really stick out far from the housing, and I think it just looks terrible. So these light kits from Rhox, I think, are the best looking kit, and they're very bright. They perform very well. They do have some pretty unique built-in features that you can play with the different colors and stuff on them. So these really, I think, are a nice kit for your money. To start out installing this light kit, we're going to use the template that came with the kit. You do have to cut these out along the dotted line. Then you're just going to lay this template on the front of your cart, trying to follow the body lines as best you can, and then just use a couple pieces of tape to tape these into place. I usually try to start down here in this bottom corner and get that point lined up where I wanted. Put one piece of tape there. And then one at the top. One down at the bottom corner and the back corner. Then we're going to use a permanent marker to trace out along the inside of this template. Then we're going to repeat this process on the other side. Then we'll do the same thing using our template for the rear lights. Now that we've got our holes marked, we need to cut them out. I like to use a Dremel tool with a spiral cut bit on it. I've done it quite a bit, so I'm pretty comfortable using this, but you got to be careful. You kind of got to take your time, and these can get away from you. You could also use a jigsaw to cut these out with a pretty fine-tooth blade on it. Jigsaws are a little bit easier to cut straight lines with, but if you have a lot of real sharp curves, it is more difficult trying to cut those out with a jigsaw. The other thing you've really got to pay attention to when using a jigsaw is if you have a painted body, you have to be careful not to scratch the area around the body where you're cutting with that jigsaw. So you need to like put extra tape or something on there to protect it while you're cutting with your jigsaw. Now we want to test fit our light to make sure that it fits in the hole that we just cut out. If you need to clean up a little spot, I like to just use a flat file, and then you can file that spot down. To start running our wiring harness, we first need to remove this center cup holder section. So you're going to use a flathead screwdriver to pop this emblem up. Then using a 3mm Allen head wrench to remove the screw. Then just pull up on the cup holder. Now we want to remove the cover from the pedal assembly, so we need to pull up this floor mat first. I like to use this body clip removal tool, and you can get underneath of these plastic clips and then just pop them up. Then you can roll this floor mat up and out of your way and remove the cover over the pedal assembly. We also want to remove our bag well, so you're going to use a 5mm Allen head wrench to take the two screws out. Then pull up on the center of the bag well and hit down on each fender to disengage the tabs. To run the wiring harness, I like to start in the middle of the cart and find the section of the harness that is going to be going to the tail lights. These carts have a small hole that is right in front of the battery area that comes up through the floor, and you can start feeding your wiring harness up through that hole and around the battery area. Now run the rest of the wiring harness along the frame rail towards the front center section of the cart. Leave your positive and negative battery connections laying next to your battery. Now feed your wiring harness alongside the factory wiring harness that's running back towards the rear of the cart. From the rear of the cart, we can run the two connectors back to each tail light. The longer connector is going to go to your passenger side. The shorter connector is going to be going to your driver's side. Back up at the front of the cart, you're going to want to finish feeding the wiring harness up towards your center console area, and then find the parts of the harness that go to the driver and the passenger side headlights and run those out to the light area. We'll also need to run the wiring for the brake pedal switch behind this plastic shield into the brake pedal area. Now to start installing our headlights, we need to plug in all of the connectors. Then I use a 5/64 drill bit to pre-drill all the holes. Do not over tighten these screws as they can strip out. When installing the tail lights, I make sure that the body line follows the edge of the tail light. To install our brake pad, I'm just going to lay it right on top of the brake pedal, and then going to be using a 7/64 drill bit. Then we'll be using the Phillips head screws that are supplied in the kit. Next, we need to plug the wiring from the brake pedal into our wiring harness, and then we'll secure those wires down and out of our way. Next, I'm going to be installing the turn signal switch onto the steering column. To run our wiring down the steering column, you need to pull up the column cover at the bottom, and then we're going to need to trim part of this cover away so that our wiring can run through this cover. Now we can feed that wiring over into the dash area. Now we need to measure and mark where we're going to cut the cover for the steering column that's going to cover up your wiring. I cut these covers using a hacksaw. Then connect the wiring from your turn signal switch to the wiring harness. You also need to plug in the turn signal relay. Now you can hook up the positive and negative battery wires to your battery. Once you've confirmed that all the lights are working properly, use the zip ties in the kit to secure the wiring harness up and out of the way where it's not going to interfere with any moving parts on the cart. As I mentioned earlier, this kit does come from the factory with a couple of different color options for the top lights here, these LEDs. You can they come set from the factory on white, but you can unplug that and plug it into either red, blue, or green. Or you can get the Bluetooth controller that you have to order separately that does not come with the kit that will plug into this wiring harness and connect to your phone, and then you can make these lights do all sorts of different things. They can be any color that you want. There's a whole color wheel that you can pick from. They can be chasing lights or flashing lights or anything. They have a ton of different options. So that is a really cool feature that you can do with these lights. These lights also have the high and low beams. I've installed several of these light kits now and have been really happy with them as far as their build quality and how they perform. They seem like they're a really good light for the money. So if you guys got some good value out of this video, please hit that thumbs up, consider subscribing. Check out our other videos on the Drive 2s. We've got a bunch out already and more to come. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.